Hello everyone. Today I'm going to do a Freecodecamp project from the backend development and APIs project. The title of the project is Timestamp Microservice. So what we're going to do is that we're going to build a full stack JavaScript app that is functionally similar to the link they provided. So I'm going to check that out later. And working on this project will involve you writing your code using one of the following methods. So I can either clone from the GitHub repo they provided or the Replit starter project so they can check the solution from there. And use a site builder of your choice to complete the project. Be sure to incorporate all the files from our GitHub repo. And when I'm done, make sure a working demo of your project is hosted somewhere public. Then submit the URL to it in the solution link field. Optionally, also submit a link to your project source code in the GitHub link field. Okay, so let's check the link they provided to check as a so we can check as a model of how the website should look like. Is this? So timestamp microservice.freecodecamp.rocks, and if I click this API slash 2015 on December 25th, looks like it outputs unix value of the time and the UTC value of that time of 2015 of December 25th. Okay, so now if you click API slash the Unix value, also provides the same Unix and UTC date format. So as it mentions here, example output is Unix and the UTC value at the same time. Okay, so now if we go to this root and API, then it produces the current time. Um, November 4, 2021, 3:10 GMT, and the current value of Unix. So from here you can guess that we get the current time if you don't have any date value. That's actually correct because here as a what do you call it, rubric, you can see that um, an empty date parameter should return the current time in a JSON object with a Unix key. An empty date parameter should return the current time in a JSON object with a UTC key. So both Unix and UTC key will be current if you don't put any parameters in there. Okay, so let's start with our code base, which I imported from GitHub. Is the following. So I can either app.get slash API, which will, oh, I didn't put it up there. Okay. So if I do app.get API slash date parameter, then I guess this is the one where I'm currently at. Uh, so just so you know, this is not like original document from the GitHub but posted by Freecodecamp. I cloned it, but I edited some. Um, so just you know that it's not exactly the same as what you see here, but you can definitely do what I did. I just cloned it, and this is where I'm at. Okay, so app.get API. This endpoint should provide us the current time. Okay, so let's see. Um, Before we do res.json, let's see what this um, date constant comes out to be. Okay, so if you go to, by the way, so I did install Nodemon on my project. Um, so it is constantly being updated whenever I make changes to the server.js document, and I can check on my website the changes that are happening. So my current local host is on 3000. I'm gonna check that out. Okay, and I'm going to go to API and just see what happens. Oh, I guess it didn't have. Okay, I'll do res.send hello just to uh, make sure it doesn't load indefinitely. Okay, so there's hello here, and see if you can find the console uh, by refreshing it. Oh, okay. Actually, it doesn't happen here, but instead, I guess what happens is uh, it's right here in our uh, terminal. So December 4th, 3 p.m. GMT. Yeah, looks correct, and looks correct here as well. So we should get this. But as you can see, the format on this, I'm just gonna zoom it up. The format on this UTC is, the format of UTC, as you can see, starts with the date and then the number and the month, year, time, minute, seconds, and then the local where it is happening, and the time that is showing on our terminal is a bit different. It starts with year and month, date, and the date. So as you can see, the format is a bit different. So I just want to convert this to UTC string. There's a method for the date objects, UTC string. Okay, so let's console that. Okay, so it's a function, so let's execute it. Thursday, 4th November 2021, 3:16:49 GMT. Okay, so let's see if you got the same result. Yeah, looks about the same. Because we have 49 GMT. Seconds changes, so can be exactly the same, but the format looks about the same. I guess we can put it on in the res.json when we put it up on the website. Okay, so I'm gonna declare constant UTC state to UTC string function execute, and for the UTC data I'm going to put it in the UTC property. Okay. And for the Unix, I'm going to parse. Wait a second. So I have a date, and I wouldn't have any parameters here, so there's nothing to put it on. It's a raw value of param. Here, date equals new date. Okay, let's check that out beforehand. Or let's see if there's any function from the date object where we can convert the date object to Unix code. Okay, so first of all, let's put null here and see what we get. Okay, so our local host is so yeah, our UTC value comes out to be correct, and we just have to figure out the Unix code. What's the current Unix code and how to get it from the data object? Let's Google how to get Unix timestamp JavaScript. Okay, there's a blog post about it. Let's see how to get the current timestamp in JavaScript. Find out the ways JavaScript offers you to generate the current Unix timestamp. Okay, so Unix timestamp is an integer that represents the number of seconds elapsed since January 1st, 1970. That's interesting. Okay, whatever the reasons are, we're beginning from Jan 1st, 1970. Okay, and the Unix-like machines, you can get it. Oh, I see. So let's check. I mean, I don't know if this is specifically related to our project that we're doing right now, but let's find out if they indeed produce the Unix timestamp. Okay, hopefully it works on the bash, git bash. Ah, yeah, it does. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 16. I just want to check the number of digits that they produce is actually the same here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, only 10. But it has 16 over here. So hopefully there's any, if it can produce it in the JavaScript, hopefully it becomes the 16 digit because I want to produce exactly the same result as our model website. Okay, the current timestamp can be fetched by calling now method on the data object. Oh, I see. Okay, so let's do let's call date method now function. Okay, and then let's console log that in our endpoint. So okay, so let's refresh our website. Oops, date now is not a function. You get the same value by calling date get time. Okay, let's try get time instead because I think there's a difference between without a new date and just a plain date. I think what this author calls by now method is only working on the uh, date that starts with capital. Okay, but since we declared this new date already, we're gonna start from here and see if that get time method works on the date instance, and then save it and try to refresh it. Okay. So JSON, does the JSON work? Oh, no, we have it as, I think this is the same as API endpoint. Okay, so yeah, we have it. Let's see the number of digits that it produces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Now it's 13 digit for get time. Let's see how many. Maybe I just counted this wrong. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1. Oh, okay. So this is a 13 digit long. So I'm gonna put this into our res.json. Okay, so let's go to our terminal, and since that now constant produces what I expected, I'm just gonna put this into Unix property. Okay, then if I refresh it, okay, I'm gonna just zoom it up just so you can see it more clearly. Yeah, there we go. And I just want to see the values are actually congruent. Okay, it looks pretty similar when I refreshed it about the same time. That's good. And we can check out empty date parameter should return. Okay, so I'm going to copy this and put it on our notepad. So basically I can highlight these 2 points because we did this. We just finished it. Okay, word wrap, font, edit, find next, replace, zoom. I I never used the notepad to style or put a background color on the text. Word wrap? No, never mind. Okay, I'm just gonna delete it just so we know that it's done. And delete afterwards once each one and which and one of them is done. Okay. Build a full stack JavaScript app that is functionally okay. I just farted. So once that's out of the way, what's the next step we can do? Let's check the checklist. Um, okay. You should provide your own project, not the example URL. Okay. A request to API date with a valid date should return a JSON object with a Unix key that is a Unix timestamp of the input date in milliseconds. Okay. So the project wants us to put the date parameter, and once it's a valid date, I guess that what they're referring to is their Unix or the UTC key, then we should the output result on the browser should be the Unix and the UTC value. The same as like we did on the current dates, just has to be has to match the date parameter that's inputted on the browser search bar. So it gives an example here. A request to API, this long number should return Unix number and UTC number. So your project can handle dates that can be successfully parsed by new dates. If the input date string is invalid, the API returns an object having the structure. Okay, so let's do this part first and then handle the error later. Handle dates that can be successfully parsed by new date. Okay. I think this is the same thing that it's part of the process that once we develop the API/date, then it comes with this. We will probably be able to satisfy this requirement at the same time. Okay, so let's start with the Unix um, parameter. I mean, whatever parameter it is gonna be here, uh, if it's either Unix or the UTC, they are valid because as you can see from this website, they have both. Wait a second. The UTC as parameter should be available as well. I think it's gonna be kind of difficult. Um, okay, a request to API /date with a valid date should return a JSON object with a UTC key that is a string of the input date in the format. Okay, so I guess what I have to figure out is what is a valid date? 왜, 로나야? 잠깐만.